Good morning. It is 7:32 a.m. on Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis, and there is a little puppy dog under my feet right now barking at an empty 2-liter bottle. This is 5 more minutes. Um, Hold on just a second. Hey, little boy, come here. Come here, buddy. What? You haven't been on camera recently. What up? Oh, there we go. How are you doing, buddy? Are you being a good boy? Are you getting very big compared to what you were before? Anyway, say hi to the people. He's a very good boy. We've been doing a more rigid, not rigid, but a more conscientious potty break routine the last few days, like all this week, in order to combat the fact that we had a couple of accidents over the weekend. He is still, he's only just 5 months old, this little boy, and so it takes time to be, fully 100%, unattended housebroken. But we're doing well here. I'm pissed at myself though, because I went to the drugstore yesterday, and the principal reason was that I needed to get a prescription refilled. And I got everything that I needed off of my list except getting the prescription refilled. So, anyway, we'll see. I mean, it's actually not like an emergency. It was just ready, right? So I'm not out of something critical or anything. It's just, that's why I went and I didn't do it. So that's all. I'm annoyed with myself for that, but it is what it is. I think maybe what I'll tell you about otherwise is that there is a TV show I'm watching it on Netflix, that you may have heard about, and it is called Schitt's Creek, spelled Schitt. And the basic premise of it is that you have Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, and there are 2 adult children. The son played by Daniel Levy, Eugene's son. So I can't remember the actress's name for the daughter, but the premise is that they are this ultra-rich family, so rich that they do things for each other like, hey, I saw that there was this whole town for sale on a real estate listing, and so I bought it for you as a birthday prank. But now it turns out that they were... He's playing with the 2-liter bottle. I found, they were defrauded by their financial manager and basically lose everything except that weird small town, because they just bought it on a whim and you didn't go through their normal guy. And so that's literally the only asset they have left now, and so they have to move it to this little tiny town and live in the motel there and that sort of thing. And it's interesting because I liked it at first. In the first season, I was enjoying myself when it was pretty much mostly what you would just expect from, the fish out of water, rich, spoiled people having to live in a little town, that sort of thing. But it's kind of impressive. It's certainly got a sort of a mission statement as a show. I'm midway through season 4 right now, and this is a show that is committed to actual character development and having the characters grow and change as people until it gets to the point where I am sincerely and enthusiastically rooting for all of these people, and I love them. And I mean, I have my appreciation for the show has gotten deep and intense which is not something I necessarily would have expected from the start. It's really good. I will briefly drop a note to the fact that the trope of how, oh, small town people are just like better somehow, the whole storytelling trope of, the rich, successful person who learns to be a better person from the folksy wisdom of the small town. Which, it's like, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying that, like, there's plenty of bad stuff that happens in small towns, and they're not just these little utopias of perfect harmony and wisdom. So I will briefly acknowledge that that's a trope that I don't necessarily enjoy in and of itself, but this show is really good. I recommend it. I was glad that I kind of kept going, even though like there was parts of season 1 that I was lukewarm on, but I'm glad I kept going because I really care about it. Now, that said, maybe it's a topic for another day, but the idea of the dilemma that it's totally fair that when you want someone to watch something, the idea that you have to get past a bad season 1 or something like that, and that's more extreme than what I'm saying here. But that idea of having to get past a bad beginning, like, no one has to do that. Like, that's it's fine to expect that your entertainment is good continuously and that you don't have to endure part of it to get to the rest. But there's also facts that some shows do take a little while to find their feet, and it's worth it when you get there. But anyway, I'll leave it there, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.